Hello students, let us continue chapter 9 Force and Laws of Motion. In last two videos we have discussed about motion and balance and unbalanced force, including that first laws of motion and second law of motion. Now today we are going to discuss some examples regarding first law and second law. So start with example number 9.1. A constant force acts on an object of mass 5 kg for time duration of 2 seconds. It increases the object's velocity from 3 meter per second to 7 meter per second. Find the magnitude of the applied force. Now, if the force was applied for a duration of 5 seconds, what would be the final velocity of the object? So let us start the solution. What we have given here, actually the object increases its velocity from 3 meter to 7. Therefore 3 meter per second will be initial velocity, that is u, and increases up to 7 meter per second. Then final velocity v will be 7 meter per second. And in first case, the time period is 2 seconds. And mass of the object is 5 kg. So let us start with the equation. We have proved this equation in last video for second law of motion and first law of motion. F is equal to m into v minus u upon t. That v minus u upon t is the acceleration for first law of motion. Now substitute the value of in this relation. F is equal to m, that is 5 kg, into v minus u, 7 meter per second minus 3 meter per second, that is 4 meter per second divided by time taken 2 seconds. So 5 into 7 minus 3, that means 4. 5 fours are 20 divided by 10 will get 10 Newton. Force will be 10 Newton. Now if this force is applied for a duration of 5 seconds, that t is equal to 5 seconds, then the final velocity can be calculated by again rewriting this equation. V is equal to u plus ft upon m. Why we have taken here v is equal to u plus ft upon m? Because they are asking for final velocity. So with the help of our standard equation f is equal to m into v minus u upon t, we can have the relation. On solving this equation, we'll have m into v minus u is equal to f into t, that is ft. And taking m divided by ft, we'll have v minus u is equal to ft upon m, or v is equal to u plus ft upon m. And on substituting the values of u, f, m and t in the equation, we'll get v is equal to 13 meter per second as the final velocity. Now next example 9.2, which would require a greater force. Accelerating a 2 kilogram mass at 5 meter per second square, that is acceleration, or 4 kg mass at 2 meter per second square. So let us start the solution. We'll compare both the quantities and we have the simple formula F is equal to ma. We have proved this. Here for first case m1, first mass is 2 kg and acceleration 1, that is a1, is 5 meter per second square. And in second case, that is m2, mass 2 is 4 kg and second acceleration a2 is 2 meter per second square. So on applying for first condition, we'll have f1 is equal to m1 a1, which is equal to 2 kg into 5 meter per second square. It gives 2 into 5, that is 10 kg into meter per second square, or 10 Newton. Know that the unit of force is Newton. And now second force, that is F2. F2 is equal to m2 into a2, where m2 second mass is 4 kg and a2 acceleration 2 is 2 meter per second square. So on solving this, we'll have 4 into 2, that is 8 kg into meter per second square, or simply 8 Newton. So on comparing force 1 and force 2, we'll have force 1 is greater than force 2. Thus accelerating a 2 kg mass at 5 meter per second square would require a greater force. Next, example 9.3. A motor car is moving with a velocity of 108 km per hour and it takes 4 seconds to stop after the brakes are applied. So, calculate the force exerted by the brakes on the motor car if its mass along with the passengers is around 1000 kg. So, let us start the solution. Here, as we know that the motor car is moving with a velocity of 108 km per second. Therefore, initial velocity will be 108 km per hour. That is u is equal to 108 km per hour, and on solving, on changing this kilometer per hour into meter per second, we'll have to multiply the 108 into 1000 divided by 3600. 1000 for meters and 3600, that is 3600 for seconds. And on solving this, 108 into 1000 divided by 3600 will give you 30 meter per second as the initial velocity. Now we know that it takes 4 seconds to stop after the brakes. Therefore, the final velocity, that is v, will be 0. And the total mass of the motor car along with its passengers is given, that is 1000 kilograms. And time taken to stop the motor car, that is t is equal to 4 seconds. So from our standard equation, equation 9.5, we have the magnitude of the force F is equal to m into v minus u upon t. And on applying the values, on putting the values of v, u and t, we will have also the value of mass. So on putting the values, F is equal to m, that is 1000 kg, into v minus u. It means 0 minus 30, as v is 0 and u is 30 meter per second, divided by time taken, that is 4 seconds. So on multiplying the values, 0 minus 30 will be minus 30, 1000 into minus 30 divided by 4. We'll have the answer minus 7500 kilograms meter per second square, or minus 7500, or 7000 minus 7500 newtons. So the negative sign tells us that the force exerted by the brakes is opposite to the direction of motion of the motor car. Next example, example 9.4. A force of 5 Newton gives a mass of m1, an acceleration of 10 meter per second square, and a mass m2 with acceleration of 20 meter per second square. So what acceleration would it give if both the masses were tied together? That means on combining both the things. So let us start the solution. Again from equation 9.4, we have discussed F is equal to ma, or m is equal to F upon a. So for the first case, m1 is equal to F upon a1 and m2 is equal to F upon a2. So here a1 is given 10 meter per second square and a2 is given 20 meter per second square, and force is equal to 5 Newton. Thus, on applying formula, m is equal to F upon a. For first case, m1 is equal to F upon a1, that is m1 is equal to 5 Newton divided by 10 meter per second square, which is equal to 1 upon 2 or 0.50 kg. And in second case, m2 is equal to 5 Newton divided by 20 meter per second square, which is a2. And on solving this, we will have 1 upon 4 kg or 0.25 kilograms. So if the two masses were tied together, the total mass m would be m1 plus m2, that is 0.50 plus 0.25, 0.75 kg. And the acceleration a produced in the combined mass, that is on combining m1 and m2, the new acceleration with the help of 5 Newton force will be, the formula is F is equal to ma, or A is equal to F upon m. that is 5 Newton divided by total mass 0.75 kg will give 6.67 meter per second square. Now the last example, example 9.5, the velocity time graph of a ball of mass 20 grams moving along a straight line on a long table is given. Here the velocity time graph is shown in the figure where time is on x-axis and velocity in centimeter per seconds is on y-axis. Then how much force does the table exert on the ball to bring it to rest position? Let us find out. Now let us start the solution. The initial velocity of the ball is 20 centimeter per second as it is given, but due to the friction force exerted by the table, as we know that every object offers some frictional force on the another object which is sliding or rolling on it. So the velocity of the ball decreases down slowly and it reaches up to 0 in 10 seconds as it is given. According to the graph we are observing, in 10 seconds the velocity will be decreases from 20 to 0. Then u will be 20 centimeter per second, but v final velocity will be 0 centimeter per second due to friction force, and time taken is 10 seconds. So we have the formula. Since the velocity time graph is a straight line, it is clear that the ball moves with a constant acceleration. Yes, we can say constant acceleration. So acceleration will be v minus u upon t, that is 0 minus 20 divided by 10 equal to minus 2 centimeter per second square, or on changing it into a standard relation, it will be minus 0.02 meter per second square. The force exerted on the ball F will be equal to, F is equal to ma, that is m 20 kg divided by 1000 kg into acceleration minus 0.02 meter per second square. And on solving this we will have the relation answer minus 0.0004 newtons. And the negative sign implies that the frictional force exerted by the table is opposite to the direction of motion of the ball. So students, I hope you understood all these examples regarding first and second law of motion. In next video, we will discuss about third law of motion and conservation of momentum. Thank you for listening.